The VLOOKUP formula is one of the formulas that people get wrong the most. People generally struggle by getting the range and the criteria mixed around, and then it just doesn't work. So let's go into the different fields of a VLOOKUP formula. So I would always advise using the formula function bar here, because this would help you to understand what every single field means. So the first field you see there is the lookup value. Now, as you can see, it says lookup value, not lookup values. So with most formulas, you can only test one cell at a time, or you can only return a result for one test at a time. So what a VLOOKUP formula will do, it will search for a specific value in a specific source. So this source can be sitting in any other file. It can be sitting in the same file. It can sit anywhere on the server. And then it will return a value that's written in that other file. So for example, if I've got salaries of my employees that HR sent to me, so this I've got in a certain file where, let's say, the names is in column A and you've got your salaries in column C, then you want to return the salaries for your specific people. So then you will write a VLOOKUP to return those values. So this will return values from separate sheets. So the lookup value is what you are searching for. So in our salary example, I would be searching for a specific name. Let's just quickly do one example here. If I've got ABC here, and in a separate location, I've got A, B, and C there as well. And I want to return the numbers 1, 2, and 3. And I'm just going to do other numbers here as well. So I want to return once the information there. So I want to search for the letter A in this column, and now I want to return either column J or column K. So let's do this. So always do it next to the value you want to do it with. So what am I searching for? I'm searching for the letter A. I'm not searching for the letter A, B, C and all of that. I'm just searching for the letter A. My table array, now this is very important. How a VLOOKUP works is the first column you are selecting is where it will search. So if I select column H, it's going to search in column H. So can you see there it only shows zeros because there's nothing in column H. So even if I select column H to L, it will still search in column H. So when I do this, it's not going to find anything because there's nothing in column H. So if I select that, so I'm selecting from I4 to K8, it's only going to search in I4 to I8. So it's only going to search here. So there's no A, so it's not going to find anything. So remember in the introduction when I taught you guys to, if you use a VLOOKUP, always select all the columns. So why not select everything instead of selecting this? Because the problem when I do this, I'll show it to you first, is that when I copy down, it will copy the range down as well. So let's just select all the columns for now. I'll go and change it right now. So this is where am I searching for it. Why am I looking for more than one column? Because just going to column I will just find the lookup value that I'm searching for. But that's not the value I want to return. I want to return either column J or column K's information. Now, a VLOOKUP works like this. The range that I'm selecting is column I to column K. Column I is the number 1 of the range I'm selecting. That's the first column. Column J is the number 2 and column K is the number 3. Now in this table array I'm selecting, there is no 4 because I'm not selecting 4 columns. So if you were returning the 4th column's information, you get a reference error because it's not part of your VLOOKUP. So your table array, very important. Your column index number, that is what information do you want to return. So if I'm looking for the information in column I, that would be number 1, but I want to return the information that's in column J, that would be number 2. And then then you'll just return number 2. If I want to return the information in column K, that would be number 3. If I return the information in column 4, then that would be an error, because there's no column 4. Then the range lookup, always just use 0. That is also false in this case. If you use true, it's going to find the nearest answer to what you're looking for. It's not advisable to use that. So let's press enter. So there we are finding the third column. So can you see? If I change this to 2, you'll see it will change automatically. So it will find that information. I can also use the column index number as a specific reference. So it will give me an error now because I've got nothing in there. But if I change this to 2, can you see how easy this is? So that's very interesting. Remember I told you that you always need to select the whole column. If I didn't do that, so the first one will obviously work. But when I copy down, see what it's doing. So if I had my information there, it would not work. No matter what I do. If this even just was turned around, then the first one will work because there's an A there. The second one will work because there's a B in the range I'm selecting. The last one won't work because now we've copied down this range, and that's why it won't work. So it's always advisable, use the whole column. So as you can see, if I do 6, 7, 8 there, it's not going to give me any results. With a Vlookup, you can only find the first result. So in this case, the first A is there. The second A doesn't matter what it is, because the Vlookup will only find the first result and only return the first result information you are looking for. So this is a very important principle. Another thing I want to show you, if I've got AA there, and only A there, then it will find this A. If you go into a Vlookup and you put your lookup value into an asterisk. So I basically use a concatenate and I add the asterisk to it. Then it will find the first one. Because now it will take my lookup value and sort of input it into an asterisk and search for anything that's got A inside of it. So even if I've had the word apple there, it would then find the first A because I used asterisk. So it will. So I can even put this somewhere in the middle. Let's just do this. It will still find the first one. So to prove it's finding that one, let's just do that. So there you can see it's finding that one. So the asterisk sign will help you find strings that's hidden somewhere in a certain field. So let's go do a better example. Okay, so here's our salary example. So we've got employee numbers, we've got employee names, and we basically want to return the salaries, which might be in another file, it might be hidden somewhere, it might not be in the same place. So how do we find this? We use a Vlookup. Let's open the formula function bar. So what are we searching for? I'm not searching for that crystal, because that's my table array. I'm searching for this crystal. And I'm not searching for everything at once, I'm searching for one thing at a time. What's my table array? This is my table array. I'm selecting the whole column. Now if column F is number 1, and that is where we will search because that is what we selected there, then column G is number 2, and that's the information we want to return. The lookup value, always 0. So if we copy this down, it works. Why does this one not work? Because Dan in my table array is spelled wrong. And here it's spelled D-A-N-N. Now this is where it becomes tricky. You must understand your data, because which one do we fix now? Do we fix the table array or do we fix our data? Now if you've got only one occurrence in your table array, then rather fix that. Because it might be that you've got a few thousand of this somewhere and you just need to return the values. So now we've returned it. If we had just part of this words, it won't find it because it's not there. So let's just cut off a few things. So now it won't find anything because it's not spelled. But remember that I told you about the asterisk sign? So if I input all of this into an asterisk, then it will work again. Because now it will find part of it, put it in there. Let's do another example. So in this example, I want to return, so I want to do two things. I first want to return the product prices, but I need to do something with this product prices. I need to calculate what was the quantity sold. So I'm going to take the sales divided by the quantity. So I need to calculate that. But then I also want to, because if there's nothing returned, it will probably show 0, then this error will still stand. So let's first get it in. So use a Vlookup. Let's open a formula function bar. I'm going to search for that product, one product at a time. I'm going to search for it in this table array. So I'm searching in H. And I'm returning the second column's information because I would be the second column in that range. And the last one is always 0. So there we've done it. But now we've got a problem here. Can you see we're showing errors? So we don't want to show errors. How do we take away errors? But we must think now what we must do. I think when we see an error here, we want to tell the user that, listen, you need to go add this into your table array. Otherwise, just give us the information. So now we've got two types of things. We need to do something with a true and we need to do something with a false. So how do we do that? We need an if formula to manipulate true or false, but we also need something that will identify an error. So it's either an if error or an is error. But an if error formula, it's only going to give us an option of to do something with true. We need something that will have true and false, and that's is error. So let's build this from the middle out. So first it's an is error. Let's just test this. So there, okay, it's showing true, so that's working. Then we need to do an if formula around it. So now this is my logical test. So I want to say, if this whole logical test, so if we've got an error there, then just say, please add to table array. If we don't have an error, let's just do the same Vlookup again. And there it will work. Please add table array. We could have done it with an if error as well. So let's just do both options. So I could have said if error. So if that thing is an error, just say please add to table array. And there you go. And now if I want to take away that errors, so if error, just show a blank. So a blank is 2 inverted commas. And there you go. It's done. So what will happen if I add a column there? Oh, then nothing works. Why is that? Now the problem with Vlookup is, can you see, I'm just going to go one back quickly. So currently we're going to column H to I. If I add another one, it will add it for me. So it's going from H to J now. But the column index number does not change. So now that we have to do manually. So because now we're not returning the second column's information, we're now returning the third column's information. So that is an important principle that you must understand. So that is Vlookup. That is how easy it should be. A few key points. Remember, you can only look at one thing at a time. your table array, always select the whole column. The first column you're selecting is the value you are searching for. And in column index number, make sure that you stay within your table array. The first column you're selecting, that's number 1. And your last one is always 0. So it shouldn't be that difficult, but just make sure you use the formula function bar and it will explain to you what you are currently doing.